Hello, my name is Tina Osojnik. I'm intellectual property expert for many years now in Slovenia. I'm working in private sector, in international law with many companies that are entering foreign markets, and they face so many challenges with regards to intellectual property right protection and international contracts. I'm also cooperating with Technology Park Ljubljana to expand the knowledge and to broaden the horizons of our startups and international company within the field of intellectual property. So today I would like to talk about some key challenges that many companies face when entering international market. We know we live in time of fast innovation, fast market entering, globalization, and as Bill Gates said, yes, intellectual property has a shelf life of a banana, which means, of course, you have to be fast, you have to be innovative. However, you need to take into consideration some and a lot of legal aspects when making a business with international partners. But first, let us see what's the main problem. When you start a company or when you have an idea, of course, you think of new product and service. You secure resources. We all have budgets for development. We all have budgets for marketing. However, we do not have most of the time budget for protecting and enforcing what you developed. You also find partners. You find partners in USA, you find partners in China, which is fine. However, all these jurisdictions have different legal frameworks, and you need to think of them as well. And yes, you're eager to sell. Most of startups and most of companies says, okay, we need to sell fast. But that's not the way how to protect yourself. As I say here, it takes competitors 25% of your time, your money and effort to copy what you developed maybe for years. So what basically happened? Before you enter the market, did you answer to those questions? Where are your customers? That's important questions because you have to focus on your target markets, not all the world, not everywhere, not all over the place, only key markets. Where are your competitors? Why is that important? Because you cannot enter a market where your competitor is already present with exactly the same thing as you think you developed, and it's innovative. So you have to think in front if you are infringing somebody else's intellectual property rights. Where do you wish to raise investments? Of course, today everything is about investing. So startups, their main exit strategy is, of course, having investor investing the money. The first key question of every investor is, what is your IP, how is protected, because that provides them with exclusivity to enter market and to earn. The intellectual property rights system is basically the only legal monopoly countries allow. So this is an important key point that you have to take away today. What's your business model? Is this licensing? Is it distribution, reselling, agency, franchise, only direct selling? Why is this important? Because you have to have all legal paperwork done before you enter the market. Why? In the absence of valid legal papers, you can lose a lot of money, you can lose partners, and you can lose a great opportunity to expand. You know, it's globalization, it's internet. Internet, it's two-faced. At one phase, it's a great marketing tool and great business opportunity, but on the other hand, you're really, really exposed because you can be found everywhere and everybody can copy you and everybody can abuse your intellectual property and your knowledge, and you do not want to do that. And which is your core product? Maybe you have in portfolio, I don't know, 10 to 15 products, and you have to have everything protected. That's not cost optimization, that's not making the most of it. So you have to think strategically about which core product is the milk cow that you want to get the most out of it. And you focus on that one and you protect only that one and all the legal system behind it. And you just forget everything else. Otherwise, you can only spend money and time on enforcing and chasing your infringers. And the last, what opportunities do you basically have in international market? As I said before, Maybe something is already invented. Maybe somebody made something, I don't know, 2 months before you did. And if you find somebody that did that, you have to take a step back. You cannot do that. Otherwise, all the money you invested in development and marketing is lost. And you will also have to pay penalties and fines because you will lose. Why would you even bother that? The numbers are really clear. Companies that manage intellectual property rights have significant raise in revenues, in number of employees. They earn few times more when they merge or they sell or they get investors. Why? Again, intellectual property rights are only legal monopoly, and you're the only one who can say who do you allow your knowledge to be exploited and to be used. Nobody else. That's why you need to protect it. What happens if intellectual property rights are not managed well? Well, the first thing is you're exposed to copying it. 25% only of what you invested, that's a lot. I mean, the internet and all the e-commerce marketplaces, Alibaba, eBay, Amazon, these are perfect places to sell your copycats. And today you can do a lot when you have IP rights protected, because the international legislation system is made that way. If you have legal paperwork done, also Amazon has to take down all the copycats they found. And if you don't have your paperwork done, they cannot do anything. So it's useful to know that even though Chinese copy you or whoever copies you, if you have your rights registered, if you have your contract valid, you can do a lot. And you don't need a lawyer for that. You just need to be aware of what is your right and what you can do. Reduced income and poor return on investment. Of course, how do you earn the money if somebody copies you? You developed, you had budget for development, marketing, you have to get something in. And you get something in only with sale. So it makes sense. Only original sale, not copy sale. Okay? We have cases when big companies almost went bankrupt because they lost the battle against counterfeiters. They were not aware of it. So it happens to everybody, to small and to big. It's not something that if you're a startup, you think, I don't need that. You will never be a big company if you don't think about these things. There are reasons why Apple or Google or whoever has, I don't know, tons of lawyers, because they do that. They protect their IP and they protect their contracts. Everybody today talks about brands. I don't know if you know what brand actually means. The brand is only as valid and strong as it can be legally enforced. There is no brand without proper protection and proper registration and contract in places. There is no such a thing. Even though you have a reputable name, if you cannot protect it and enforce it against infringers, it's not valid. It has no value. So no investors, no mergers, no exit strategy falls into place. Like I said, investors, they just turn away, because then you are just like an open book. Everybody can take whatever from you. Okay? And no investor will invest in such a company because there's nothing for them in it. What happens if contracts are not managed? I know that a lot of you think, okay, I don't have money for a lawyer. I don't need a lawyer. I don't need a contract. I just found a recent study, loss of 9% of annual revenue. Okay, if you're small, maybe that's not a lot of money. But as I said, you will not grow bigger without that. So bigger as you are, more you can lose. It's important because contracts state the obligation of both parties. And when you're not present physically, I don't know, in China, USA, Canada, whatever, the only thing that keeps you connected is the contract. That's why it needs to be drafted carefully and that both parties are aware. Otherwise, you can pay fines, or you just pay for something that contract is not valid anymore, or you don't negotiate, or you over-negotiated or under-negotiated. All such things can happen. That's why contract management is really in place. It's better to prevent than to cure, also from cost perspective. 45 to 69% of signed contract resulted in problematic consequences. That's a lot. That's a lot. With performance issues, with delay issues, with quality issues. You know, what happens if you have a supplier that delivers you with bad quality products and you have distributor waiting for you on the other side? You have penalty against him, you have market waiting for you, you have to take back the quality. He says, no, it's not my fault. And then you think, oh, we should have that signed before. And it takes time, it takes money, and a lot of energy. So your goal should be, first, to optimize costs, which means think strategically, protect only what's necessary on your core products, core markets, and your core partners. Earn more and increase price premium. We all know that, oh, I pay so much for that brand. You know, there's a reason why. Because the brands invest so much money to protect customers from bad quality products, from counterfeiter products, and they want to earn back the price premium. Basically, if I'm really plain, they do it for the customers. The brand value lies in customers. Your goal should be to increase brand value. As I said, there is no brand without legal background. You want to prevent stealing of know-how and trade secrets. Today, the IT industry is really, really growing. They fear they do not have patents. No problem. Every industry has its own IPR system. It can be know-how, it can be trade secrets. Everything is in the head of programmers, developers, whoever. And that is worth. And the only thing to protect it is by contracts. There is no other way. And of course, the most important, prevent revenue loss, because you don't earn enough. There are only a few steps you need to take. So first, the preventive search on availability and innovative step of your core IP right. Like I said, don't infringe somebody else's IP right, as you don't want for third parties to infringe yours. So respect. Make strategic decision on protection depending on the IP right, industry, and business plan. So you have to think carefully. What do you want to protect? Where do you want to protect? And how do you want to protect? That all results in cost optimization. And at the end, protecting of IP rights is not as costly as many people think, especially for startups. Many legal systems are made in a way that the smaller you are, the less you pay for registration. So you don't have to be afraid of costs. But you can be afraid of what happens if you don't protect or if you infringe somebody else's. Review and draft all contracts that are enforceable on target market. There is no internet template for USA, for EU, for China market. There's no such way. Every territory has its own jurisdiction, and you have to take that into consideration. Then you have to register only core IP, and then you have to monitor. Don't remember, intellectual property right is your asset. It's your asset, and you have to take care about it. There is no office, there is no police, there is no agency, state agency that will protect you. It's you that you have to take care of the market, and you have to monitor. So if you have budget to develop, if you find budget to protect, you also have to have money to enforce against infringers. What would I like from you for today to take away? Are only 4 key points. Brand is as strong and valued as it can be legally enforced. Respect others and protect yourself. Manage your contract and minimize your costs and risk. And dream globally but still act strategically. Thank you.